Hello students, I am Gnaneswara TN, Assistant Professor of English. In this session, I would like to introduce an essay titled Of Studies. This essay is written by Francis Bacon, father of English essay. Now, let us know what is an essay. Any short composition in prose that undertakes to discuss a matter, express a point of view, persuade us to accept a thesis on any subject, or simply entertain is called an essay. The essay differs from a treatise or dissertation in its lack of pretension to be a systematic and complete exposition, and in being addressed to a general rather than a specialized audience. As a consequence, the essay discusses its subject in non technical fashion and often with a liberal use of such devices as anecdote, striking illustration, and humor to augment its appeal. The word essay derives from the French infinitive essayer, meaning to try or to attempt. The Frenchman Michel de Montaigne was the first author to describe his work as essays. He used the term to characterize these as attempts to put his thoughts into writing. Subsequently, essay has been defined in a variety of ways. One definition is a prose composition with a focused subject of discussion, or a long systematic discourse. Aldous Huxley, a leading essayist, notes that the essay is a literary device for saying almost everything about almost anything, and adds that by tradition, almost by definition, the essay is a short piece. A useful distinction is that between the formal and informal essay. The formal essay or article is relatively impersonal. The author writes as an authority or at least as highly knowledgeable and expounds the subject in an orderly way. In the informal essay or personal essay, the author assumes a tone of intimacy with his audience, tends to deal with everyday things rather than with public affairs or specialized topics, and writes in a relaxed, self revelatory, and sometimes whimsical fashion. The Greeks, Theophrastus and Plutarch, and the Romans, Cicero and Seneca, wrote essays long before the genre was given what became its standard name by Montaigne's French essays in 1580. Francis Bacon, late in the 16th century, inaugurated the English use of the term in his own essays. Most of them are short discussions such as of truth, of adversity, of marriage and the single life, etc. Alexander Pope adopted the term for his expository compositions in verse, the essay on criticism, which was published in 1711, and the essay on man, which was published in 1733. But the verse essay has had few important exponents after the 18th century. In the early 18th century, Joseph Addison and Sir Richard Steele's Tatler and Spectator gave to the essay written in prose its standard modern vehicle, the literary periodical. Earlier, essays had been published in books. In the early 19th century, the founding of new types of magazines gave great impetus to the writing of essays. This was the age when William Hazlitt, Thomas D. Quincy, Charles Lamb, and later in the century, Robert Louis Stevenson brought the English essay and especially the personal essay to a level that has not been surpassed. Major American essayists in the 19th century include Washington Irving, Emerson, Thoreau, James Russell Lowell, and Mark Twain. Most modern essays are formal in type, but Virginia Woolf, George Orwell, E.M. Forster, and Toni Morrison are notable practitioners of the informal essay. Francis Bacon was the youngest son of Nicholas Bacon, who was the minister in the regime of Queen Elizabeth. He was greatly influenced by his mother. He studied at Cambridge. He also studied law at Gray's Inn in London. He worked in Paris in the English embassy and returned home after his father's death and began practicing law. Bacon wrote more in Latin, thinking that it would be popular in the future as it was the classical language. Bacon enjoys a special status in English literature for having introduced the form of essay into English literature. He published the first edition of his essays in 1595. His essays contain practical and utilitarian wisdom. They are written in lucid, clear, and aphoristic style. He is considered as father of English essay. Besides essays, Bacon wrote a variety of scholarly works. Bacon is the most representative prose writer, scholar, philosopher of Elizabethan period. He is the first prose writer who made English worthy of European recognition. Dear students, let us recall what we have learnt in this session. The essay of studies is written by Francis Bacon. Any short composition in prose that undertakes to discuss a matter, express a point of view, persuade us to accept a thesis on any subject, or simply entertain is called an essay. The word essay derives from the French infinitive essayer, to try or to attempt. The Frenchman Michel de Montaigne was the first author to describe his work as essays. He used the term to characterize these as attempts to put his thoughts into writing. Francis Bacon is considered as father of English essay. His essays contain practical and utilitarian wisdom. They are written in lucid, clear, and aphoristic style. Thank you for watching the video till the end. Have a nice day.